I'm doing this today because we're getting ready to pack up and move, and hubby wants me to start packing these things in boxes, so I thought I'd better film them before I pack them up. So this is my cute little Alice in Wonderland colouring book from Japan, and it's A4 sized, but it's A4 sized in the horizontal way rather than the normal portrait style. So most of the pictures are going like that, and you can see the full flip throughs of these if anything takes your fancy, and the links as always are below the flip through or the blog post for it. But I imagine that this is a story on that side, that's why I'm not bothering to show you the text. And this side is the actual Alice drawings. So very cutesy, and at the back we've got some little treats, which I always like the little treats. I never coloured them in, but I still like having them there. So, an Alice in Wonderland, and of course this is the Swedish edition of Maria Troll's book. At the time that I'm filming this, the Dutch edition's already been out, and the English edition, Nightfall, will be coming out shortly. Now, because I've ended up with quite a few copies of the Dutch edition of this one, I won't be buying the English edition, but it's a gorgeous book. Truly very, very pretty, as Maria's books always are, and they're so luxurious with this hardback cover. So another one from Maria. This was also a children's book as well, so if you are ordering it, make sure that you get the colouring book version rather than the children's book. And I really love this book. I've also got the Dutch edition of it, which is Droomreis, and it's so cute. I think the English translation is roughly Vivi's looking for a friend, or Vivi wants a friend. It's very cute, single-sided illustrations there, perforated pages, and lovely paper. Now, it's not hardback, which I kind of find a little bit disappointing, because it would have been nicer if it was hardback to go with the other Swedish colouring books and the other ones of hers, but it is gorgeous. And then, of course, this is the Dutch edition of the same book of Vivi, but it's actually in hardback. So I actually like the Dutch edition more because of that hardback and that lovely crack on the spine. Now, it's the same book, but it's not perforated pages, but you do have that hardback spine. And some of the pictures are slightly different. On my blog I went through the differences and on the full video review, but they're both lovely, both gorgeous books. Depending on where you are in the world, you might find it cheaper to get the Dutch edition, although I think both of them at the moment are a little bit hard to get, so you might need to keep an eye out on Etsy or eBay if you're having difficulties locating it. The hardback is just gorgeous. And so this is Lolita Fashion. So Lolita is a form of Japanese culture fashion, and this is on trade stock paper. It's A4 sized, and if you're into the whole Lolita look and the Japanese culture, you might really like this one. And on the back is the name. And what's interesting about this is that it's 360, so when you flip through it, the girls turn around. So I'll try and do it properly. So they actually turn, so you're getting that view. That's pretty nifty. This is Ebony Rain's Tir Na Nollag, which is Irish, and this was her Christmas book. Now, she goes under the name Edwina McNamee now, so if you're looking for this, it won't be under the name of Ebony Rain, which was a pen name. It'll be under the name of Edwina McNamee. I think I've got that name right. I'm just grabbing books off the shelf, so I don't know that I can remember them all. So they're two lots of the same images, one with the black background, and it is super cute and really thick. So a good one for Christmas. And this one's also a Christmas one as well. I've already coloured pictures out of this and cut them up, so there might be some pages missing. But it was make your own Christmas ornaments, and so you cut them out and fold them up. I'm sure it was this book that I cut them out from, but I could be wrong. But yeah, so a nifty idea to make your own Christmas ornaments, and this is volume 1, so probably means that there's going to be another volume. Now it is on trade stock paper, so it's not that sturdy. Now this is the Gnomes colouring book, and this is an extremely special colouring book for Daniel Savage, who's seriously ill, and yeah, a group of artists banded together and made sure that this book could be published. And they also published another book called Colouring for Daniel in order to raise money to assist Daniel so that he could see this book published, you know. So an absolutely cute book and a fabulous cause as well, and just so nice to see artists banding together to help a fellow artist, you know, that was really in need, and producing another book as well, Colouring for Daniel, which I have around here somewhere. So Archie's colouring book, so Archie of course based on the comic book series, and full of, you know, great pages with Veronica and Archie, Jughead and all of the gang. Only disappointment with this book is that with the double-sided printing and the quite thin paper, you can't use markers with it, so I would have liked to use markers, but anyway, can't have everything, hey. This cute little book is Cinnamon's Melt Magic, and it's only tiny, and I won't open this one because I've got another one around somewhere that's unopened, and it's only 12 pages from memory, but they're super cute, gorgeous little Japanese manga style pictures, very, very cute. And here's another little thin one, it's from Erica Ward. Now, it's a Japanese colouring book, and she lives in Japan, but she's originally from California. And again, it's a thin book, it's on great paper, and it's got some lovely pictures in there that are really stunning. It also came with I also bought some little cards, actually, that she has with it, and they're pictures from within the book. And it came with a beautiful thank you card. So this is a gorgeous book. It's from Korea, and it's the Nutcracker colouring book. It's got this lovely cover on it that's got like a decal feel to the coloured images, and it's on single-sided pages. Now this artist has quite a few colouring books, and you might be familiar with the style from Loving Lifestyle of Venus, Secretly Unhappy, Goddesses of Flora, and a whole series of colouring books based on countries like Croatia, etc. So gorgeous little pictures there, and I always forget it when it comes to Christmas time, but they're so cute and sweet. And the single-sided pages, which are also a bonus. And of course, Mythomorphia. So I think Kirby is doing 2 more books this year, Phantomorphia and another one that at the time of this video, the name hasn't been released. The publishers actually sent me Mythomorphia to review, which, as most people know, I don't usually get books from publishers or artists, so that was different. And I think what Kirby is up to, like 5 books and a sketchbook and calendars and postcards, and I haven't even coloured 1 picture yet from any of his books, so he's moving a lot faster than me. But I think Mythomorphia is a fabulous book, and you know, one really long day, I'd love to dive in and at least colour something from one of these gorgeous books. So Mythomorphia. This is another Alice in Wonderland colouring book. It's a Japanese one. And as most people know, I love my Alice in Wonderland. Can never get enough. And I do like the different styles, the different ways that artists interpret Alice in Wonderland. And it's very cute, very sweet. Could perhaps have more Alice in it. But super cute Alice in Wonderland book. Another one from Kirby. So Imagimorphia, which I really like. I like these different scenes that are in it, and I do like the doodles, which he seems to be moving away from, only because I think the doodles might be easier for me to colour in. And these gorgeous pictures, I see so many people colour these in, and they do such a fabulous job. But what always frightens me is any sort of fur in his pictures, because I haven't worked out how to do that, but they are so gorgeous. I feel like if I could just colour a few doodles, I could get right into it. So the lovely Imagimorphia. Now this one's a Korean colouring book, and it's designed as a prenatal colouring book. It's called My Lovely Baby, and I believe what you do with it is sort of like scrapbook your baby's birth and journey through it. So it'd be lovely as a gift for somebody that was having a baby. And so you've got all these pretty little pictures to colour, and then you go through the sort of stages of your child's development, and you can write things down here in your little diary. There's some really cute little pictures in here, really sweet. Nice little things where you can write things down, and you know, maybe it's something that you could give to your child when they're older and say, this is what mummy did while you were a baby. I don't know. But they are very cute, and you can see the full flip through of them at the link below, which will have the buying details as well. So this is a Disney Japanese Kaleidoscope book. So basically they're Disney characters in a kaleidoscope fashion. Now they're printed on single pages, and it's good quality paper, and of course this is Disney endorsed. And although it's not perforated, there is a cutting line there for you to cut things out. Now I know they look simple, but when you see them coloured in, they look absolutely amazing. So here's our lovely Alice. So you can see the full flip through of that. And sometimes, you know, if I say it's Japanese or Korean or whatever, if you just look to the playlist below as well, you can see them in there as well. Now this is Wonderland, and of course I bought it because I thought it was Alice in Wonderland, but it's actually not. And I didn't realise on the cover here that this legend was actually colour by numbers, which, you know, is great for me because I can never choose colours. So what it basically is you get a legend of colours to colour for the part of the picture, and then you make up your own colour scheme for the other part of the picture. Some, of course, you get to just, you know, choose whatever you like, but some of those have those colour by number colour schemes in it, like over here. So as you progress, you know, and you learn your colours a little bit easier and you learn what you like and whatnot, you can just colour up the pictures without the colour by numbers. But often when you're really stressed out, you don't want to think about choosing colours, so you can just rely on their colour scheme. And then at the end they've got that legend there for what it looks like when it's coloured in. So it's a little Japanese colouring book. And of course nothing to do with Alice in Wonderland. So it's another one from Japan, and this is another painting lesson style book, is what the Japanese call them. where they basically give you some tips on how to colour in and then some pictures to colour. So we've got our tools here to colour in, some colour swatches over there for different brands of pencils and some techniques, and then we get into the lessons on how to colour these beautiful pictures. And obviously you can just follow along with the pictures, or you could use a translator app to translate that and scan it in and find out what they're actually saying. But a lot of detail there on what to do and what not, and produces like this really soft effect. Now with all these painting lesson books, you know, they only work if you admire the way this particular colorist has coloured the images. If that's not to your fancy, then you just, you know, go straight over and colour the pictures however you fancy. So lots of little lessons there, packed full. And then here is the line art, which is like that hand-drawn look. So really lovely. Another gorgeous Japanese technique and colouring book. This is one of my favourite colouring books from Japan. There's a new one coming out soon. It's the Kimagure Cat, and I think it's also called Cat Chips. I think this cat is just adorable. It's so cute and so fun, and gets up to all sorts of mischief throughout the seasons, summer, winter, etc. Goes to Greece and goes on holidays. So the life of Riley, this cat. So they're, you know, they're not high-end pictures, they're cute and they're fun. And so here's our little artist cat. So if you want to see the Travelling Cat Diary, it's under the Japanese colouring books playlist, and you can see the full flip through on my channel or on my blog. So this is Ellery Fowler's Bold Springtime to Colour, and I really love her, a very delicate artwork. Haven't seen anything from her recently, so I would think that she's going to produce something else soon. She does a lot of quotes with flower decorations and a lot of simple but very elegant flower pictures, and there's sometimes a cute little animal in there as well. But they're very sweet. Now some of them it's just a pity that they're on double-sided, because you kind of like to frame them, especially like a little bunny rabbit or something like that, but you know, often they're so lovely one from Ellery. And so here's Peter Rabbit. Now this one's illustrated by Charles Santore, or Santore. He illustrates a lot of colouring books, all in this old traditional fairy tales or stories style, so Snow White and Alice in Wonderland, etc. They're all on a very textured pencil type look, and they're a bigger size than most colouring books, but there's less images, of course, so it might actually be one that I might be able to finish in my quest to actually finish a colouring book, because it's only small. Now this is Manic Botanic, which is an amazing colouring book, so detailed. It's A4 size, it's on trade stock paper, but the detail in it is absolutely stunning. It'll just keep you busy colouring for ages. And I see so many gorgeous pictures from this book, and I've got a Pinterest board of coloured images if you ever need inspiration from the lovely Manic Botanic. So super detailed, very gorgeous. So I've got the next stack down. These aren't in any order because I ran out of space in my colouring cave, but this is one from Rita Berman. Now this is her second one, the Land one. this is Looking at the Land Under a Magnifying Glass, which is a different series from her 4 seasons that you might have already seen. And they're beautifully created. They all have the same sizing. Now, I do like the land one better than the sea one, but only because I'm not a sea person, really. I can't swim. So I liked this one a lot better because it's got the cute little animals. There's lots of lovely pictures in her books, and I've got a Pinterest board of coloured pages from her books if you ever need inspiration. She's really talented, and these are really fun pictures. So there's something for everyone, whatever mood that you get into. So that's the land one. And of course we've got some Alice in Wonderland. So this is just a Creative Haven one, so it's on perforated pages. Great pictures on here. Really lovely pictures. And they're such good value, these Creative Haven books. And of course anything with Alice in it is sure to be a crowd pleaser with me. And this is Fabiana's Jungle Book. Now, I don't know, what the story is with her publisher, but, her books sell out and they're hard to get, and it kind of makes you wonder why, they don't print more and they're not more easily obtained, because I know a lot of people had troubles getting Cinderella and whatnot, and it's such a shame that you've got an artist where people want the books but they can't seem to get the books. So this is the Jungle Book, and I do like to have the whole series, even though this one's probably not my favourite, but I do like to have all of them by the artist when I decide to collect an artist. So that's the Jungle Book, and it also comes with that giant poster that's in all of her books. Now this is Beauty and the Beast by Fabiana as well. And again, there's some of these titles that are easier to obtain than others. So I think this one is hard to get. I could be wrong. But if you're having trouble getting one of these books, try and search for the Italian edition of it, because you might find that you can get an Italian edition or another language, but you can't get the English edition. Now, of course, if you're wanting it as a keepsake book to read the story, which is always at the front of the book, then of course you're not going to be able to read it unless that's your language. But if you're just wanting it for the pictures and the lovely full page poster, then the other editions should be just fine. This is a Japanese colouring book from memory, and it's got unusual blue outlines rather than the standard black that we're used to. So it's really different pictures in it. Very interesting colouring book, and some lovely art in there as well, especially if you like fancy fashions and whatnot, and lovely paper as well. Now this is the Icelandic colouring book, and it's roughly A4 size, but it's horizontal rather than portrait style. And this was actually sent to me by the Gundersberg, I think it's called, Gunnersborn, which is the artist collective. So it's like a group of artists, and they banded together to create this colouring book. It's on perforated pages, and it's got pictures of like Iceland or things that are important to the artists. So lots of different variety there, and there's a lot of pictures in this book. Some are way more complex than others, but certainly something different for everyone. I do love having books from different countries, so I think this is my only book from Iceland. And at the back there's this massive poster that folds out, so a huge poster there as well. So a gorgeous book. Now this is my birthday present. I bought it for myself last year, It's a Korean colouring book of fairy tales, and of course that was Alice in Wonderland on the cover. Now it is hardback, but the hardback is not as sturdy as some hardback colouring books. And it's just super different the way that the fairy tales have been interpreted in the Korean dress. So very, very different colouring book and really interesting. Lots of different pictures in it. And just, yeah, truly gorgeous. I wish I could read, some of the little text in it, but it is gorgeous. And it's got at the back these coloured images, which are just stunning. And of course they're based on the line art in the book. So absolutely stunning. And this gorgeous little double page scene here at the back, which of course is our lovely Alice and the White Rabbit. So no guessing why I fell in love with it. But the cover is a really thin hardback, so would be careful about how you store it. It's, not sturdy at all. This is a Polish colouring book, and very thick, very well presented. Might hear some noise in the background, unfortunately. My other half is doing some drilling and whatnot, and have to suffer through. So it's called The 13th Sign, and it's full of really interesting pictures on lovely white paper. Very, very different and interesting, and it's a Polish colouring book, which I always like these Polish artists. They seem to produce some great colouring books. So this is my Japanese colouring book, Takumi, and it's a fabulous colouring book. I really don't know why more people aren't posting pictures of it and buying it. At the front there's some coloured artworks. Now, not all of the coloured pictures reflect the pictures that are in the book, so it's sort of like part art book, part colouring book, which is a little bit confusing because you go and find the picture and it's not there. But check out that cover, isn't it gorgeous? There's our lovely little Alice in Wonderland. So, you've got these lovely sweet pictures, and then you come across some that are, quite dark as well. But they're gorgeous pictures, gorgeous artwork. So you've got this gorgeous ballerina over here, which is all sweetness and light. And then this one looks a little bit, nastier. So very different. And, very gorgeous colouring book. And part art book as well. So that's from Japan. This is Dark Reverie, which is actually the artist on this is Jane Mayday's son. So Jane Mayday from Adorable Animals and Colour Super Cute Animals, etc. So her son obviously has a different style. No super cute animals here. So it's lots of black being used, and obviously a darker imagery set there. So it's Dark Reverie. Now this one's a little Korean colouring book, and it's a little fashion colouring book. So they've got these gorgeous little girls, and it's all through different styles and different ages, and they're so cute. And some of them are absolutely gorgeous. And if you like fashion, and colouring clothes and whatnot. Then at the back you've got all your accessories, or your accessory pages as I like to call them, and you've got some paper dolls. Now I don't think that you can actually dress these up because there's no tabs or anything, so I think they're more like standing dolls, but they're cute with all the different outfits that you can have with them, and it is, quite full. So here's another one from Korea, And again, we've got that gorgeous coloured imagery at the beginning. And then these beautiful pictures. So very delicately drawn. It's just a shame that some of the pictures go over that gutter line, but you know, they are lovely, really lovely pictures, and great paper as well. And of course you can make your own paper dollies at the back. So I like a good paper dolly book, but I'm always worried about cutting up one of my colouring books for paper dolls. And this is Friends of Nature by Joey Lim, for memory her name is, and she lives in New Zealand. So on the back we've got some coloured images, and she sends you some cute little treats when you purchase the book. So you get the treats were in a little packet. When I bought it, you also got an art print as well, so you can hang that up on your wall or frame it. It's really stunning, and mine's personally signed because I bought it right when she released it. That's the page that I used in the video to test out the mediums. So if you're looking at that video, you'll see me test it out. And gorgeous pictures, absolutely gorgeous. You know, we're so lucky that we've got so many great artists. And that's that cover art. So if you want to see the full flip of that, you just go to my channel and you can find it. So the next one is Momo Girl's colouring book, Girl with Poem. Liked it so much I bought it twice. And it is absolutely stunning. It's from Korea, and I knew I'd like it, that's why I bought it twice. Often that's a mistake, but this time it was actually on purpose because I'd seen her art and just really, really loved it. Now my naughty hubby was testing pens out on her calendar, which I foolishly left on the desk. But the first print run came with a calendar as well that you can hang up on your wall. Absolutely stunning and amazing colouring. I don't know if she did the colouring or if someone else did, but isn't it beautiful? And they're from within the book. So Momo Girl, and look how thick it is. So these are from Inko Kotoriyama, which is a Japanese artist. You might remember her from some of her colouring books like Happy Birthday, the Disney colouring books. Gosh, she's got so many. So these are sort of merchandise related to these characters, which are all in a series in Japan, and they're both owned by the same TV company or whatever, and so they've just produced these books. This one, these little cuddly ones, they're designed to sort of help you feel nice and safe and secure, which is so sweet. And they're like these little squishy things that make you feel safe. And Inko always has these little step-by-steps on how to colour. They're very simple little drawings, so good to share, good to colour, but also, you know, good just for some simple colouring. And at the back there's some little treats. Now this little bear apparently is super popular in Japan, and also its friend, the little white bear over there. And I think it's the anniversary of this little bear. So I have to try and remember, my mind's a blank. So they've all got little characters and it's just so cute. I mean, sometimes you just want a little bit cute. And of course at the back we've got some treats as well. So the full review for that is also on my channel. Now this is my Snoopy colouring book, and this is Japanese, but I've got to say I don't know. I think this is the same as the Posh Snoopy colouring book, but this was just printed in Japan, because there's a Posh Peanuts colouring book and I don't know, I think they're pretty similar or pretty well the same. So I don't have the Posh Peanuts one, so I just did the look inside thing that you do on Amazon. So I'm not sure if they're exactly the same, but they look pretty similar to me. So, you know, if you're a Peanuts fan, you might be better off getting the Posh one. It might be cheaper. Now here's my opened book of Cinnamon's Melt Magic. I told you it was only little, but it's super cute, and you get this coloured little card with it. And so we've got gorgeous little drawings, and these go back, you know, they're ones that she's done over time. So 2012, you got your little flower fairies, little Alice in Wonderland. Isn't she gorgeous? So it's only a tiny, tiny book, but it is super cute. And every time I look at it, I feel like cinnamon rolls. Now this is Secretly and Happily, which is the same artist that also illustrated that Christmas Nutcracker one that we looked at earlier. So it's a Korean colouring book. Basically all the things that, you know, make you happy. And what's unusual about it is that the images are on single-sided pages. So very cute little images, very sweet, you know, and not intimidating, especially if you're new to colouring. So it's super cute. I like the variety, you know, I think it's gorgeous. Might be too simple for some people, but I think it's adorable. And, you know, I thought I didn't have this book, and so I bought it again. And then, of course, you know, I found that I already did have it, and it was in one of my earlier Korean colouring book hauls, but I just couldn't find where it was, so I thought, I don't have that. So I bought it again, which, you know, totally vague. I need a better system for keeping track. So, lovely Secretly and Happily. Gorgeous colouring book, and a very prolific illustrator, that one. So onto a super small little colouring book. This is Francine's Cats, so Francine van Westering, and from memory she's a Dutch artist, and she's got the most gorgeous colouring books. This is her little set of postcards, which of course are all based on cats. Now they have sort of come out of the glue binding a little bit, but that's to be expected. Postcards are meant to be removed easily, so can't complain too much when they are removed. But absolutely cute as a button and perfect for your handbag. So this is my little French Disney colouring book. It's the Disney Babies. Now it really made me realise that I was really behind on my Disney Babies, because some of them I didn't even recognise. Wait on, it's not this one, it's another one. But yeah, some of the newer Disney stuff, you know, I'm still in the old times of Snow White and Alice in Wonderland and, you know, Lady and the Tramp and whatnot. So some of these newer Disney characters really escape my mind, but super cute. This is a little Korean colouring book, and it's obviously based on cats. Very cute. Some lovely little pictures in there, and they are super adorable. So many adorable pictures. And this one is Vinter Nat, and I hope all my books are in order. Like sometimes they, you know, fall out of the shelves, or I rearrange the shelves or whatnot. So some you might have seen in another video, and that's, you know, inadvertent, because I do try and separate all the ones that I've reviewed and the ones that I haven't, and the ones that are in the collection video already from the ones that haven't been filmed. But sometimes, you know, things do get mixed up. So that's Vinter Nat. It's Hannah Carlzone's set of postcards. Now, these aren't available as a colouring book, they're only a set of postcards. So these are my little Cosmo Cricket watercolour pictures, and you basically just put watercolour on these and it makes a little picture, so very cute. just show you up close what they look like. You might have seen my review of those where I did activate them and colour them in. Now this is another one from Rita Berman, and this is her spring colouring book. She's got a series of 4 that are basically summer, spring, winter and autumn. The spring one I absolutely adore because there's quite a few bunnies in it, and of course I won't be able to find them if I'm looking for them, as always is the way. Should have looked for them earlier. But lots of gorgeous little pictures, and you know, these books are so handy for travel because they're quite small. If your handbag's as big as mine, they should fit into it pretty easily. So there's that lovely little bunny rabbit. So that's the springtime, and it roughly translates to my spring walk. Now this is Nina Stajner's first colouring book, and it came with this gorgeous little coloured card. So very, very pretty. Now it sold out super quick, so a lot of people, when I reviewed it, were a little bit unhappy that they couldn't purchase it because it had sold out. So the next time she released a book, I actually didn't purchase it because I was worried that I would get all these messages again saying it had sold out and they couldn't get it and they were unhappy with me. So, you know, that's sometimes the way. So there's a bunny rabbit, and this is just such a cute little book, you know, really, really adorable. Of course, you know, it's little woodland creatures that I adore, and it's, you know, handcrafted, so it's a gorgeous little book. So there we have Nina's. Now this is Rita Berman's summer colouring book, and that roughly translates to my summer walk. And again, gorgeous pictures, you know, lovely scenes, different flowers, all sorts of variety and things that, you know, really speak to that particular season are included. So there's some gorgeous pictures in there. Now some of these books are really useful if you're doing like holiday colouring, because the winter one especially has Christmas themed pictures in it. And the autumn one has, you know, harvest time themed pictures in it as well. So this is the winter one, which I've always got to remember to dig out for Christmas imagery. And so we've got some with a black background, dream catchers, some yummy treats. Some images are more simple than others. It's got a big variety there. There's a lovely little advent calendar in here that's really sweet for Christmas, and also some, you know, cute little presents. So if you just want to do like a tiny picture and you don't have a lot of time, some of those smaller ones are particularly useful. And of course I can't find that calendar now that I'm looking for it, but you know, it is there, and if you're interested you can look at the full flip through and see it there. But there's some with black backgrounds and whatnot. Some are just ornaments and little mittens. Of course, Christmas in Australia is stinking hot, so we wouldn't be wanting any of those. And here is Happy Wonderland, which is a Japanese colouring book. It's only small. And again, it's not black liner, it's like a bluey green line. And different little pictures in this one. It's actually a hard line to sort of pick up on camera, so I hope it does pick up because I'm a bit further away from it today. But this colour doesn't pick up as easily as the black does. So hopefully you can see these pictures. They're really gorgeous, and it's got lovely paper as well. So that's it for part 5, and I'll see you in part 6.